The Knights of Badassdom have been met! Hip hip!
Some of those people on the clip are here for this panel. Come on, let's let them know you're happy they're here. Alright, since you already heard the speech about not filming clips and one of them already ran, I'm going to go ahead and just get right into it. So now I'd like to introduce the moderator for the Knights of Badassdom panel, Mr. Anthony Bresnikan. Hey Hall H, how are you today? My name is Anthony Bresnikan. I'm a writer for Entertainment Weekly, and I'm very pleased to be moderating this panel today. But you know, I think it's such a true thing. It's all fun and games until someone summons a succubus from hell. It's hard to say. You know, I imagine this is a good audience for this film because there are a lot of people here costumed as people they're not normally in everyday life, right? How many people here are in costume in some form or another? Alright. And has anybody done a spell that may have accidentally awakened a demon, a succubus? Are there any succubi in the audience? Alright. If somebody yelled, you neighbors, keep an eye on that person. Alright, so we're going to introduce the filmmaker and the cast of this movie. He's making his big screen debut, a guy who has been a lifelong horror fan. You've seen him host the Body Count segment on G4. He cut his teeth on music videos, and he made 2007's Wrong Turn 2. The director of Knights of Badassdom, their royalty, Mr. Joe Lynch. Holy shnikes, we're in a Hall H. Thank you! Candies. So you know him as Jason Stackhouse on a show called True Blood. Plays Joe in this movie. He's not down with the LARPers though. He has roommates who are, and he just but he gets dragged into this anyway. Mr. Ryan Quanten. And this guy, he always plays bad guys, but he's a really nice guy. He's from Date Night, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's in Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, which will be coming out. Jimmy Simpson. From Community, Danny Pudi. Probably know him from Mad Men, Michael Gladys. She co-starred in Adventureland, Spread, The Invisible, The Monstrous, Margarita La Viva. And I think you guys know this next person. I'm just going to say Firefly, Serenity. She was a Terminator. Summer Glau. Finally, I I think it's fair to say his big breakthrough came in a great 2003 movie called The Station Agent. But you also know him as a man who always pays his debts. Tyrion Lannister on Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage.
I just love it how I come out like a total douche and Peter just raises his hand ever so slightly. You're a class act, sir. All the way down there. Thank you very much. And the bass on that voice, jeez.
It's a lot of bass. So Joe, this movie, I think it's fair to say, is if you could just distill geek and put it on film, this would be the product that...
Thank you for that, by the way.
He was talking to me, Pootie. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. No, honestly, like...
But you have a cast of people who have made a huge impression in genre films, and this is...
And they're all looking at me now. They didn't look at me once on set. It's a little... So, thank you very much.
Why did you want people who already had established themselves in the sci-fi fantasy genre?
A lot of people have said in the last, like we've been doing some press about the movie, and a lot of people have been like, you designed this. This is all marketing. It's very shrewd marketing. Excellent, touche. But to be totally honest with you guys, this is a testament to the script that Matt Wall and Kevin Dreyfuss have done, and I read it and went, oh my God, heavy metal and LARPing, and it's it's in modern times, and it's got monsters, yes. And when we, kind of went out to, these amazing actors, it was kind of like, wait, really? Yes, really? Just down the line. And I think it really was a testament to the, to the script itself, and everybody was just so kind of ready to be in game. I mean, come on, it was a summer of hanging out and throwing lightning bolts at each other and throwing blood all over the place. It's the best summer ever, So, no, it really was a testament to the script. It wasn't designed. We just got very, very lucky. Or we just chalk it up to magic. Easy.
Well, it's a comedy, but there's also a horror element to this, right? How would you describe the tone of the movie?
Honestly, I would actually just call this an adventure film, because to me, the adventure film genre is one that combines thrills and spills and chills, and it's got you look at The Goonies or Ghostbusters or Romancing the Stone or Excalibur. I mean, even Conan the Barbarian. I mean, there's a couple laughs in there. Not at Conan's expense, unfortunately, but that's the thing. It's like you can watch an adventure film and it has everything put together. That's what made this film so, to me, so exciting. Was I got to do a little bit of comedy and a little bit of horror and a little bit of drama, and it was everything that I loved about these types of movies that I grew up with in one film, and heavy metal, which always helps.
Well, no, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think it's fair to say that there are thousands of LARPers who are out on this excursion when the succubus gets unleashed, but you don't just kill what I guess you could call red shirts, to use a Star Trek term.
Very nice. There are a couple of red shirts in the film, actually.
There are a couple of red shirts, but your main cast is also vulnerable, right? Why was that important to have not everybody have a happy ending or an ending?
Happy endings were after the game was over. You look all the way to the end of the table for that. It was in contract. I'm kidding. I love you, Peter. No, the thing that was...
Talking about happy endings?
Sorry? Was that directed at me? No? I didn't hear what you said. Okay. I'm so dead. No, the two of the films that really inspired me when I read this, because, look, the worst thing we could do with this film, because it has a culture that not everybody's very familiar with, some people kind of possibly could look down on it. This crowd doesn't look down on it because this movie is made for us. But, it's a film that not everybody's going to embrace at first because they're like, whoa, real dudes getting dressed up in, wizard costumes, and they have real problems and everything. This isn't a medieval film. What's going on, So the best thing that we could do was absolutely respect the LARPing community, and the first thing that we did was we went out to the LARP Alliance, which is one of the West Coast LARP guilds, and I'm sure that they're represented out here today. Anybody? There they are, all the way in the back. You guys rock! But Rick McCoy and Adrian Grady, who run the LARPing community there, we basically kind of reached out to them and said, we're doing this right. And, and they were very supportive from the beginning, and they were instrumental in getting us, making sure the rules were right, and making sure that this sounds so weird. We have real LARPers in our film. Every LARPer in this film is absolutely 100% real, in-game. And that was integral to the whole project, because, like, we're on set, all of us are sitting there and we're like, there's all these dudes and they're bringing their own costumes, and we're sitting there like, I remember Ryan came out in his costume one day and was like, that's nice. It's like, it was the guy made it, So the whole point of that is we wanted to make sure that it was as faithful to the LARPing community as possible, because we wanted to embrace them, not make fun of them, and by the end of the movie, if one person grabs a foam sword at the end of the film, we've done our job.
Well, Brian, your character Joe, he's not a part of this community. He's friends with these guys, but he's kind of, I guess, for an audience member who's not into this, he's sort of their eyes, their perspective on it. How would you describe Joe? How does he fit in, and how does he not fit in with the LARPers?
Yeah, I guess Joe is very much the subjective point of view of the film. He's the one that we're sort of going into this world that Joe has sort of created, thinking, I'm not really sure if I buy this. And he comes in with this sort of air of pessimism. He's just sort of broken up with the love of his life. Well, she's very much broken up with him. And he sort of very quickly realizes that these guys take it very seriously. And the more serious they take it, the more sort of comical he seems to find it. But then very quickly, the comedies turn serious. And, blood and guts start appearing randomly, and he's forced to sort of try and pick up the pieces.
Lots of pieces.
Yes. And he's kind of lost, though, right? I mean, you mentioned that he just broke up with his girlfriend, but he wants to be a musician. He seems like he has a lot of big dreams. He just hasn't pulled it together, hasn't picked up his own pieces.
There's a real sort of tortured soul sort of mentality that he needs his roommates to kind of pick him up and put it back together, and that's where sort of Peter and Steve's aunt sort of do a good job in trying to psych the boy up again.
So even before things get really weird on this LARP, he meets Gwen, the character played by Summer. And Summer, I guess, can you just introduce us to her? Who is she? She's kind of a mystery girl, right? At the beginning of the story?
She is. I think that what Joe and I had discussed is that she comes with her cousin, who's really hardcore, Gunther, and she's sort of like an in-between. She doesn't quite take it all the way. She can go in and out of game a little bit more than some of the other characters, but she's just really fun-loving, and she can dive in and take the story seriously and get into it, but then also it's kind of can be maybe a little bit more reserved and cool, and I think that's why she and Joe can bond in the beginning.
Well, she certainly can be reserved and cool, but I think, is it fair to say that she's one of the sweeter characters you've played? You actually get to smile in this movie, right? Was that a difference? Did you feel that?
I enjoyed it. We were smiling a lot.
So, and Peter, lately we've seen you as this sort of shrewd, calculating character on Game of Thrones, but I think Hung has a big heart, right? But he's not quite as.
Oh, he's completely miscalculating.
He's miscalculating.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, it's quite the opposite.
Where is he? Where is he in his life as this story begins? Tell us how he got to this point. Why does he have the name Hung? I think a lot of people want to know the answer to that question.
Wait for the DVD.